of the alcohol. La 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 la. Just line 'em up and we will drink them all. La 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 la. But my mother always said, if you want to drink all day, you best start in the morning, son, 'cause that's the Irish way. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, and every other mother will agree. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, so order up around for you and me. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, and every motherfucker must agree. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, so order up around for you and me, and you and me, and you and me. Let there be whiskey.
Hey, everybody, welcome once again to Nerds with Alcohol. I'm Russ,
And I'm Chris.
and this is episode 441 back in the virtual nerd basement. Guys, welcome once again to our in continuing triumphant return after our long break. We had gaming last week too, so that should
Hey,
be
Wings.
up and about. Wings Kook already in the chat. Welcome, Wings. It has been a muggy and rainy day in the Detroit area. So,
So let's just talk about that, because that kind of goes right into like some shit that happened this week. So with that being said, I was in the office today, and those storms rolled right through over by us.
mhm.
Didn't seem so bad out. All of
No.
a sudden, I'm coming back from upstairs, and everybody's coming out into the hallway, and they're like, everybody in the hallway, everybody in the hallway. Tornado warning, because we had gotten a tornado warning on our phone when we were both, me and the other guy one of the guy I work with, we were up talking about some
Mhm.
stuff in the data center, and we both got the alerts on our phones, and we come back downstairs not thinking anything of it. Well, then they're shoveling everybody into the hallways. Turns out the potential tornado or whatever touched down over by the airport, and the path that it was taking went right through the golf course that we're on.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, that was why they were like, everybody in the hallway, get in the stairwells if you can, in the bathrooms. The bathrooms were jammed with people. The stairwells were jammed with people. I was in the hallway with one of the guys I work with who had his laptop out there, and dude, I thought we talked about weather and stuff and liked weather enough. This dude had like the red zone of weather channels up.
Okay.
He had like a split screen of the four major like weather forecasts for the Detroit area, and he just kept flipping between. Oh, this one looks like they're talking about something good right now. Let's listen to that, and we'd listen to that,
Wow.
and it could flip over. You could still see the other ones. It was wild, but yeah. So never saw anything, never heard anything. It never even really. I mean, it rained quite a bit, but that was about it.
Mhm.
Nothing major. But yeah, I guess I have a feeling it was a radar indicated. Because they kept talking about how the winds were twisting in the sky.
Okay.
So I don't think anything actually touched down. It just, there was the potential.
Okay.
But anyway, back to what you were saying though. But yes, it has been very rainy and muggy, and it's only supposed to get worse tomorrow. Just
Yeah,
not,
tomorrow.
no rain, just hotter and just as muggy.
Today was a high of like 82. Tomorrow is like a high of 90.
Yep.
So yay.
Heat advisory tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, that's going to be, my studio is going to be fucking like it was like a sauna in a swamp like today. And I'm like, awesome. And tomorrow, and we got a lot of work to do, so I can't, it's like, it's going to be rough. So, I'm going to need to send the bosses out to buy more fans or something, get a big block of ice and just put a fan behind it and just sit in front of this big block of ice.
Yeah.
So, let's just get into it, man. How was your week?
Busy, very, very busy. Didn't have a crazy amount of stuff going on over the weekend, but got a lot of stuff done. Got more stuff for the business that I'm starting up. Got my printer. I haven't set it up yet. It is sitting downstairs. That came in yesterday. I got the stand for it. I got the printer. I've got the heat press. I actually also got my DTF stuff. This is the direct to film. and I made my first koozies.
Very cool,
And
man.
I made a Tavern Nights koozie.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
And I made a couple others that didn't come out as good. The like the Drinking Nerds Entertainment. I didn't realize that some of because the background was white, it took out like the white that was inside the design too.
Mm.
So that's one I'm working on still. But these came out fantastic. And yes, this is the first thing I heat pressed actually, was this one.
That's awesome. It's always cool for me to see like a piece of work that I did that goes on like a t-shirt or something, you know.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend about convocation.
Mm.
She's this girl that's about, very interested in paganism and witchcraft and stuff. And I was like, oh, well, there's a big paganism / witchcraft convention here in Michigan. I'm like, really? I'm like, yeah, I've done the artwork for their program guide a couple of times, and I've got friends that were major organizers for the event, and um, um, I was just reminded about the artwork that I did for their covers for their
Yep.
programs and stuff. Yeah.
I was on the board for several years.
Mm-hmm.
Did the website for a long time, was in charge of programming one year.
Exactly.
But yeah, so Saturday, Renee and I went to a Romanian Heritage Festival over in Dearborn Heights. It was cool. First time that, I mean, we were there, we were listening, they were playing Romanian music. It wasn't anything major. It was mostly like, it was kind of like a church get together is really what it seemed like, because it was at a Romanian Orthodox church out there. And yeah, people dressed in like traditional like dresses and shirts and clothing. We weren't there to see the dancing, but we did hear, it was mostly a DJ, but then he came out and was actually speaking Romanian. He was actually speaking in Romanian. And Renee said she was able to pick up about half of it, which she felt really good about, which she should have, because she's been working hard at that. And then he started singing, and dude, this guy could fucking sing. He had an amazing fucking voice. I didn't know a goddamn thing he was saying because it was all in Romanian, but
Right.
but it was honestly, he had like just that amazingly perfect sound for what he was singing. Anyway, had some really good food. And so enjoyed ourselves there. And then after that, because that we were only there for a couple hours, talked with some people there, and then we went over, because we were in the area, we decided to go to Rusted Crow, which is one of our favorite distilleries and cocktail bars here in the Detroit area, and had a great time just sitting at the bar talking with with people. It's a really tiny place, but we're sitting there talking with people at the bar, just having a good time, talking with the bartenders. Just overall, just an amazingly great time. It was a great impromptu kind of date night. Hey, Jeepo.
Cool.
I did pick up a bottle of bourbon while I was there, because that's one of the things you can't find in the store. It's their Rust Belt bourbon. It is a bit pricey, but I don't have the bottle up here. I will probably show that off tomorrow. I actually posted it on our Discord channel. But I'll show it off next week when I probably have some of that to drink for the show. So, but yeah, that was fantastic. But yeah, other than that, Pete came over and we played a little Magic. One of these days, I'm actually going to get him to play 60 card Magic instead of doing 2 1-on-1 Commander, because Commander's really not great for that, especially when we had our one game. I'm playing my vampire deck. I have 2 creatures in there that aren't vampires. He pulls out a creature that lets him choose a creature type to have that all of his creatures have protection from. And he's like, I'm going to choose vampires. I couldn't fucking do a thing. I couldn't get anything to remove that thing. I couldn't get. He just kept attacking, and I couldn't block him. I couldn't attack him because if he blocked me, his character his creature wouldn't take any damage, but mine would. So it was like it was just ridiculous. Like this is gonna be a short game.
That's funny.
So
Um,
but anyway, overall had a really good time. But other than that, yeah, it's just been busy trying to get things set up. I'm working on the website, um, work the business website, working
right.
on designs for koozies and for I'm actually where I was working on some game mats today, things like that. So how about you? How was your week?
Um, well, it was a very busy
Did I
like
say
week.
hi, hey Ojipo?
I don't remember.
Hey Jipo.
Um, it was a very busy week, largely because we had our final weekend of of the Canterbury Village Medieval Fair, and it went over very well. Um, it
Luckily it
was a
was before
warm
this heat.
it was a warm weekend, but it was definitely wasn't like I've definitely dealt with worse, you know. It was pretty muggy on a little muggier on Saturday. And for anybody that's ever been to a Renaissance festival in full costume, it that can be pretty rough, particularly when you're also wearing makeup and a wig and everything. But it was it went over, like I said, went over very well. We had a good time. It was well attended, particularly Saturday. Saturday was great. Sunday was pretty good, but it was a little bit later it was a little later. It's one of those things you still gotta wait for the churches to get out, you know. Um, but overall, I was pretty pleased. And nice thing too, I had a check at the end of the day, or at the end of the weekend, which was nice. Didn't have to wait for it to come in the mail. Uh, Overall, pretty good time. We also had gaming on Friday, so that was cool. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Um,
That's right. We had gaming Friday too. I forgot
mhm.
about that.
We had Gaming Friday, which was our kind of triumphant return back to the gaming table. So that was fun. We didn't, no combat, just a lot of RP, which was also, which is fine. Um, um, we got to finally face to face our new characters got to meet the first crossover character from the previous campaign. One of our player characters, Euchariah, who's now, running a magic school, and that was really cool. And then he directed us to Octavian, Euchariah was Pete's character, and then he directed us to Octavian, who is Rich's character, and now we're off on a mission for him. So overall, it was a
You're on
good
a
time.
mission from God.
We're on a mission from God. So yeah, it was a good time, and I am very much looking forward to next weekend. I've got a gig on Friday, a body paint gig on Friday, but and then we have a memorial for a friend of ours. Both Chris and I have a friend of ours that had passed away. They're doing a memorial for him. So for Saturday. But other than that, I mean, I'm looking forward to having a little bit of downtime. I haven't had any downtime in like 6 weeks, and it will be nice to just chill. I haven't done any long form gaming in weeks. So where I've just been able to sit and game, just kind of game for a while. I got a dog here at my feet that is obviously nervous about the storm. Like, looks like we might have some more rain coming.
Yeah, there's supposed to be thunderstorms rolling in between now and like 10.
hmm So Dresden likes to sit at my feet under my desk and like freak out. Dude, dude, what the fuck? So, thanks. I hope. Anyway, but no, it was so otherwise, just getting into it. I'm trying to get my contracts together for my next big rock show. The guy is that I get my contracts from keeps like kind of stringing me along a little bit, and I'm getting a little ticked. He said I was supposed to I'd have the contract by end of business today or sometime today, and they're out in California, so they they're 3 hours behind, and I was just hoping to have it by now, and nothing. So now I'm going to have to like send them another email of some kind in the morning or tomorrow, saying, "Hey guys, I don't know, maybe could we get this contract squared away so I can get, can have take this off of my brain." So it's one of the few things I get anxious about. I get anxious when my various technology and devices aren't working, like if my computer or my phone or something goes funky or my car, and then business stuff makes me anxious. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the thing. I even know. I mean, like I know I'm going to the event. I know I'm on the map. I'm on. They've got a spot for me. Everything. It's just a matter of getting that damn contract, and so that I can send them their shit, their fees, and get all that squared away. So, what about you? What was your week like?
I told you. I started it.
Oh, that's right. You started. Sorry. Um, so yeah, there's that. So yeah, what are you drinking?
I 1 second, writing something down while I'm thinking about it. Otherwise, I forget. Problems that I know I have. So I am drinking this a beautiful golden liquid. It is a another thing that I brought back from uh Ireland,
Mm-hmm.
and this would be um Druid's Celtic cider. Um, really cool, kind of a
Nice.
cool
Oh,
can.
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it is 5% ABV. Easygoing, medium dry apple cider. Golden, not too sweet, crisp and refreshing. Best enjoyed ice cold from a bag of cans with friends. Da, 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 da. Got anything else? No. But yeah, this is made in the UK. Um, but yeah, the can's really cool. The cider itself is pretty good. It's a lighter body cider. It is definitely a little on the drier side than like Orchard Thieves, or some of the others, especially some of the American ones here. Um, it's it is light and refreshing. It's got like just enough of that apple flavor to make it to where you're drinking a cider, but it's still spots. Um, excuse me.
Mhm.
Where is it? Sorry, trying to remember how to word. Sorry, guys. Timeout ban. How is it? Right there. Anyway, but yes, this is very good. I would give this 4. Probably 4 out of 5. Uh, I like. I think I like Orchard Thieves a little bit better, but Druids is definitely out there. Plus, I like Druids.
Accurate.
What about you?
Well, I'm not drinking anything right now, but I just came from after work. I got together for a drink with some of my coworkers. My coworker Eric started back in our off season, started like a weekly lunch with some other friends of his. So and he invited me, so I started going. Yeah, here comes some more rain, and it's getting. Oh yeah, it's coming down. It's getting harder to do that now because like work is ramping up, and some of the other guys that would go are also getting busier. So I met up with Eric and one other guy at the Cozy Lounge again, and I had this cider. I thought it was Blake's. It's not Blake's. It is. Let me find it here. I had the apple pie from Down East Cider. and it is one of the best apple pie ciders, if not the best apple pie cider I've ever had. Downey Cider House is out of um I think Boston.
Austin.
Let me see here. All products. Visit the cider house. Yeah, it's in East Boston, Massachusetts. And I haven't tried any of the other ciders yet. And that's the thing about fermented apple cider. It's more often than not, it's like, all right, that was a cider. There's usually a crispness to it. Sometimes it's sweeter, sometimes it's drier, but they don't tend to. I mean, until they start fucking with it, by adding things like,
Habanero.
uh, yeah, habanero or cinnamon to make, whatever. Most apple ciders are like, it's apple cider. And sometimes you'll catch like certain notes where you're like, okay, that better, worse, whatever. But quite often, I'll get an apple cider and it's like, yep, it's an apple cider. Nothing too fucking fancy or frilly, and that's what you want. Um, I'd say when it comes to beers, there are a lot more variation in flavors and stuff like that, with different kinds of beer and shit. Um, as much as I love cider, a lot of them do tend to be similar or the same and whatever. Um, that being said, this stuff, holy shit, some of the probably the best apple pie version of of apple cider that I've ever tasted. It's sweet without being cloying. You're tasting. It's more than just the apples. You're tasting the cinnamon in it too, pretty well. Um, it is fantastic. I thought it was Blake's apple pie out of the tap last time, and that was what made it different from like Blake's apple pie in the can. Because quite often we know that sometimes something out of the tap tastes different or better than out of the can. Uh,
Hmm.
I had like a year ago, I had Cider Boys strawberry cider on tap, and I love that cider out of the bottle, but on tap, fuck, it was great. This stuff, I highly recommend it. Down East cider, apple pie, absolutely fantastic. Um, I don't know if we can get this locally. Um, but they do sell their products by in cans. If you pull up the website, they have like, let's just see what the ciders and more. They have an original blend, Down East cider, which is just apple, imperial mix pack, a blueberry pie.
Oh, I didn't
Um,
realize. You kept saying down east. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, I've had down east stuff. CD gave me a bunch.
oh,
They're the
did he?
ones that do
Okay.
the slushies.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
Okay. The out of office mix pack is guava, passion fruit, pineapple, and orange crush, imperial wild berry. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. Go again, back to ciders and more. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see, imperial wild berry, a strawberry dragon fruit, which sounds amazing.
Yeah.
It's a
Looking at
cider
their
house
website,
exclusive.
blueberry pie.
Black cherry, apple pie, which I just had. Their imperial original. It does seem to be a 8% too, which is a little bit higher.
Well, that's an imperial. Yeah.
That's the imperial. Oh, that's right. That's imperial. Um, it looks like okay. The original blend's 5.1. So yeah, yeah, it looks like 5.1 for the normal stuff. I'm definitely down to check out some of these if I can get them, if I can get it locally.
So according to their website, yes, you can.
Get it here in the States or here in
Yeah.
Michigan.
At least, let's see. It says Shores Canteen has it. Octopus Beer Garden, Mount Clemens, uh,
Looks
Metro
like they
Bar
have
and Grill.
looks like they have a prickly pear.
Says Cozy Lounge has it.
Yeah, that's where I got it.
Yep. Steampunk
So
Tap Room. Yeah, so if you
pomegranate.
got it on tap, then yes, you can.
You
We
can still
should be able to get it
by the
locally.
can.
Yeah, I don't know if you can buy it by the can, but
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Looks like
yeah,
they do have a cider or strawberry, or raspberry. So they do seem to have like a decent
it may
um
only be available um at on tap right now because these all look like tap houses.
mhm. So good stuff. Good stuff. Check it out.
Yeah, yeah. The stuff I've had by them is good. Now this might be a different one than the one. I thought it was down east that gave me a bunch of. But anyway, cool. All right, well we should start getting into stuff.
Right.
Um, so where do you want to
Where do we want to
start?
start? So last week, we had the nerd community suffered a
Oh yeah,
loss. I won't call it tragic, but it was still unexpected and kind of sucked.
it's tragic.
I
I'll
mean, it's
say it's
tragic because
tragic.
he wasn't super old. He was definitely an older gentleman, but he wasn't in his 90s. Um, the actor famous for playing Giles on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, among other things, Anthony Stewart had passed away Thursday evening. He passed away due to complications of pneumonia. He was surrounded by his family, including his two daughters, both of which are actresses and in their own right. His daughter Daisy was actually the villainess in the Dungeons and Dragons film. She played the one Red
Honor
Wizard.
Among Thieves, the good one.
Yes,
And
Honor Among Thieves, the more recent Dungeons and Dragons film. Um, he was also known for being kind of the bad guy in on Tom Lasso. He
Ted
was
Lasso,
Ted Lasso, excuse me, Ted Lasso. He was in the Merlin TV show from the BBC. Played Uther Pendragon,
Arthur's
Arthur's
father.
father. He's done a bunch of stuff. He's been in a bunch of movies and different things like that. Um, and
He's a bad guy in an episode of Doctor Who.
sure,
Because I mean, what British actor isn't?
isn't right. Hasn't been on Doctor Who. So yeah, it was unfortunate, and it's too bad. He is the original member of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Well, he's the second original member, but the third
Yes,
member of the cast to pass away in the last couple of years. Followed
that's 2 years.
following Nicholas Brendan and Michelle Trachtenberg.
Both of which who
So
were way too young.
yes, both died from man. I think Trachtenberg got sick. I think she got sick.
Hmm.
And I think Nick Brendan did he commit suicide?
I think.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, our hearts and minds go out to this man. He was a very much kind of for a lot of people was kind of considered one of those TV actors that was very much a father figure to the fans. Um. He became a father figure to the actors and the characters on the show, and then the fans kind of viewed him very much as like
No,
as a father
died in
figure.
his sleep due to natural causes at 54.
Oh, okay. Well, that's that's good at least. So that's one of the responses. Some of the responses that have been going on about Tony Head's was death was because people feel now that they've lost one of their TV
Yeah.
dads.
And Michelle Trachtenberg, it was complications of diabetes mellitus.
Okay, that's also sad too. So yeah, um, so
She was only 39.
raising a glass to Anthony Stewart Head. Thank
Yeah.
you for everything you gave us.
Yeah. So Giles was an amazing character.
Mm-hmm.
He was a lot of fun.
He's complex.
He was very complex. I mean, when the whole Ripper thing came out,
Mm-hmm.
that was actually the fact that he had sex with Buffy's mom
Yep. On the
twice.
hood of a car. Twice. Yeah, he
That
and Joyce got it on.
he had some great lines.
Mm.
Just he I mean, all of them had great lines, but just
Delivered
like,
with that dry British
yes,
wit.
like the Thanksgiving episode when Buffy's all upset because the peas are mushy, and he just, I like mushy peas.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Or Renee was reminding me of one where Xander, somebody's asking Xander about, so you just read out of these books and you can do magic. He's like, yeah, you just say like, and he like spouts off something and the book sets on fire, and Giles comes by and closes the book. He's like, Xander, don't speak Latin in front of the books.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, simple things like that, we're doomed. I think he had one of The World is Doomed. I think he had the last line in the very first episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and then he had the last line,
and it was the exact same
line. It was the exact same line.
It was also the exact same thing. It was Buffy, Willow, and Xander walking off talking, and he says, "We're all doomed."
Right.
Or the world is doomed. My favorite Giles line, I think, to this day, is in, I believe it's season 2. It's the Halloween episode with the fear demon. And they wind up finishing the summoning, and the fear demon shows up, and he's this little, like, 6-inch tall thing.
Who's a cute little fear demon?
And Xander's doing who's the cute little fear demon? Who's the cute little fear? And Giles just comes by and goes, Xander, don't taunt the demon. Like, why can he hurt me? No, it's just what is it? It's just uncouth or something like that.
Yeah, or unseemly or something like that. Yeah.
That one is, I think, my favorite, just because the way he delivered it, or it's just poor sports. It's just poor sport or something.
I think one of the things that I liked about it too was the fact about Giles is like when
it's just bad form. That's it. It's just bad form.
Is when you find out that he had a history, that he had a past as this like dangerous, guy. In his youth, he was rebellious, and he, and I think a lot of people could relate to that, because as you get older, you get mature and you stodgy and whatever else. It doesn't always have to be stodgy, but we grow up, and he was one of those examples of like, he had regrets from when he was a young man, and he was working hard to, make amends for those regrets. And like, I think it was the first time we meet like his old chum,
Ethan,
the guy who cast the spell on Halloween, and the band candy episode, because that's the thing. He cast a spell on Halloween where everybody turned into what they were wearing. And he also cast a spell on the ensorcelled candy bars where a lot of adults started acting like kids. And that's where we see Ripper come back. And so, but I remember he goes to confront Ethan for the at the Halloween episode, because I think that was in the first season. And it just starts to beat the shit out of him. And we're seeing, holy crap, this guy is not just some librarian. He's a badass, and I loved how they would periodically throw out these little things about Giles, that was like, I mean, he also dated Jenny Calendar, the computer teacher, and who died tragically. And then he ended up at one point, I think you meet another former lover of his who had, was this beautiful black woman from England. And you just like little things here and there. There was an open mic night at one of the
at the Bronze,
at the Bronze, or where he's singing, and people are like, the other cast members, what the just like, when is this? And then you find out that was also revealed later on too, that that Anthony had a very robust stage career, particularly back in England. And in fact, he was in the stage production, one of the more famous stage productions of Rocky Horror Picture, the Rocky Horror Show, where he played Frankenfurter.
Also,
And
his
so
brother is also Murray Head, who is
his older brother.
who's famous for also doing stage work and for the One Night in Bangkok hit from the 80s.
Yeah. So it's I loved how there was always something to kind of surprise you about Giles.
Well, there was the one too where he just takes out that one guy. He's like, the guy's hurt and Buffy walked away, and he's like, she's got a kind heart. I don't. And he just like pinches his nose and covers his mouth and is like, no, you're done.
Mm-hmm. Or the one episode where after Buffy comes back to life and Willow is all happy about it. She's in, and Giles is like basically takes her to task, and he's like, "I'm extremely disappointed in you. What the things you've done were extremely irresponsible, you know, and you know, and like basically dresses Willow down." Probably for the first time he's ever done that, because Willow was almost always one of the more responsible, you know, members of the cast. You know, Xander almost always got some sort of Xander, stop it, or you're being an idiot, or whatever. And but he always also delivered those lines in a fashion of in the way, like, I mean, he was always calm. The tone of voice was this very calm tone of voice. This just, like, you know, like they said, the dry British wit. And every once in a while, when he would break away from that, it was impactful. It was different. You know, he was saying what he was needing to say, and it would be scary at times too.
He was not quick to anger, but when he was angry, he was scary.
Precisely. The singing episode, the musical episode,
the musical was great.
Yeah, it's one of the best episodes. It's largely considered one of the best episodes. Not not a throwaway episode either. It had some very important things happen in that episode. You also get to see him sing in that episode, and he's amazing. You know, so
it's where you find out he's leaving.
Right, because he leaves for a while, and not for too long. He comes back, but
no, he doesn't. He comes back as a guest, but he's gone for
the
you're
entire
right. 7th season.
He's gone for. You're correct. Yeah, he leaves as a show regular, and then he comes back. You know, near the end.
Yeah.
To kind of wrap the show up and help wrap the show up.
Right.
But it's been so long since I've done a watch. I'd really like to do a rewatch on that show. So anyway, he was such a great character. He was so much fun, and like I said, particularly complex. He was a great character. And as an actor too, he brought out a lot of things from his co-stars that were great. Like when like James Marsters talks about how he helped him with the accent. Like, Marsters does a pretty goddamn good British accent, but there were times when, you know, he'd slip up a little bit or whatever, and Anthony Head was always there to, you know, help him out. It's like, no, this is how you'd say it, you know. And from what I understand too, one of the things that was kind of funny is, like, I heard one of the actors describing how he would show up to set extremely different from Giles. Like, he was rock and roll, man. He was kind of a punk guy. He would show up wearing, you know, in jeans and Chuck Taylors and, you know, and a Misfits t-shirt, and then, you know, change into the tweed suit, you know, and it was just such a transformation of him. So
you just reminded me of one too, the whole British accent thing. The episode after the musical episode, which is another great episode, Tabula Rasa, where Willow makes everybody forget, and they're all in the magic shop, and Spike is sitting there, and he's making fun of Giles' accent, and you listen to the Nancy boy over there. He's like, and then a couple of ways, wait a minute, shag, buggy, bugger,
tosser,
bloody, tosser. Oh, crap, I'm British too. Welcome to the Nancy Club.
Yeah, he's like, "Are we? You don't think we're related, do you?" And he's like, "Perhaps a older brother." He goes, "More likely a father." You know, it's just
the
like,
property of Randy. You named me Randy Giles? Why not just call me Desperate for a Shag Giles?
yeah, it was really funny. It was great stuff, man. I mean, it was one of those great, and the show itself, of course, was always one of the greats. It was the greats of the era because it was one of those Joss Whedon shows that he just absolutely destroyed with the dialogue.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
So one of the other things I saw on Facebook was that Sarah Michelle Gellar, David Boreanaz, uh, James Marsters, and I think Allison Hannigan all got together on a Zoom call to pay tribute
Oh, that'd be cool.
to Tony Head.
Cool. Yeah.
And they're all holding the same picture of him in the it's like four frames, and all of them are holding the same picture of him in the one picture I saw. And you can see that they're all crying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Well, they were an ensemble and they were friends.
Yep.
I mean, it's talked about a lot about how I mean, a lot of those actors kind of grew up with him.
Mm-hmm.
They were all fairly young. They were all playing right around
They
the
were playing
age that they were.
most of them were playing a little bit younger.
A little bit.
Like Sarah Michelle Gellar was about 20. She was about 18, I think, when the show started. And 20 like by season 2 or 3.
Right.
The only one that was actually playing her age was Eliza Dushku. She was 17 when she came out as Faith.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's but even so, they were all fairly young actors, and I think Charisma Carpenter was one of the oldest. Like I think she was probably one of the ones that was definitely older than her character. And so they were all kind of within that, still relatively young actors, and had been doing it for a long time. I mean, his biggest his introduction to American audiences was the guy in the Taster's Choice commercials.
Yeah. Charisma Carpenter's actually 2 months older than me.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, she was one of the she originally auditioned for Buffy, and they looked at her and they're like, you'd play a much better Cordelia. So, but yeah, she was definitely one of the oldest of the teenagers. We should move on. We've discussed Tony for a while.
We start
it
talking
is sad.
Buffy too. So I'm hearing a little bit of thunder outside now, and the sky looks really dark out the window, but it's also light. It's that really weird, like storm light quality.
Yeah, it's almost like a golden light.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like, maybe this show's gonna get cut short as we run to the basement. So
yeah, it's a little weird. Let's see. So what else we got? So Masters of the Universe opened on Friday. Unfortunately, it did not do as well as we as fans would have loved. It no
movie does nowadays.
It took worldwide, it only did about $54 million, $54.4 million worldwide. The budget was almost $200 million, not including the marketing. So they probably spent at least another $100 million on the marketing. It's looking like it probably won't break even, which is at least break even, which is unfortunate, at least at the box office. Now, apparently, pulling up Rotten Tomatoes, it got, I think it was about a 66 from the critics and about 88 from the fans, which is not bad, not bad. I mean, the critics were mostly been saying things like, well, it's 67 actually, and 87 from Masters of the Universe. A lot of the critics were saying things like, Hear that? That's the sound of a barrel being scraped over in Hollywood. Master of the Universe belongs to no one, a project engineered at enormous cost from the needs of IP. But then some of them are like, was totally swept away by this super vibrant, weird, and gleeful romp. It's downright ridiculous, but ridiculous works when the cast and crew wholly get the kind of movie they're making and are enthusiastic about going all out to bring it to life. It's another one. It's just the right kind of bright, uncomplicated, goofy entertainment for a Saturday afternoon that you need a distraction. Most of the and most of the reviews have been kind of similar to that. Like, it's not amazing, but it's a hell of a lot of fun. They had fun with it. They did a good job. Some critics were saying that the people wanted this to be Barbie, but it ended up not.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 hours and 20 minutes, so it's a little longer than some. It's also got it's got a mid-credit scene and a post-credit scene, both of which are, from what I understand, quite a bit of fun. I've also heard that all of the actors do pretty great, and that Jared Leto is kind of steals the show in a few points because he plays Skeletor, and because he is under basically a lot of prosthetic costuming and digital makeup, you can't even tell it's him. It could have been anybody, from what I understand. Is
Yeah.
like it could have been. This isn't one of those places where Jared Leto is box office poison.
Yep.
Um,
So,
so
hey, CD.
hey, CD.
Fuck the critics. I think I'm still going to see it. All those,
Oh yeah,
all those I saw said it was fun, but not winning an Oscar, of course.
right.
I watched some pretty harsh critics. So I actually was just flipping through Facebook real quick and saw Danny Brady post 46 minutes ago
Mhm.
with Polly at Imagine Royal Oak saying, "By the power of Grayskull, holy shit, that movie was freaking awesome. Now give me She-Ra." And it shows the Grayskull castle. I'm guessing popcorn bucket on
That's
her
the
lap.
popcorn bucket. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
on her lap.
So yeah, I mean, I know a few spoilers. I don't want to talk about any of the spoilers. Um, but one of the things that people joked about is like it's also very self-referential. So they know they're having fun with it. In fact, one of the criticisms I had heard was that they could have pushed even more towards the ridiculousness of the cartoon and the kind of fun, campy ridiculousness of the cartoon. Like one of the things is you he the names of the characters like Fisto and Mechanic and things like that. Those are
Trapjaw
not
and
Trapjaw. Those are not necessarily their names. Those are the names that young Adam gave to them in his memories. Ram Man, things like that. So, and even the name He-Man, he didn't that's not a name that was given to him. That was like there's a trailer that you can see where they're like, well, what are you calling yourself? Well, I was thinking He-Man, and they're like, huh? He's like, what? Isn't it's kind of is it too masculine? And they're like, no, 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 it's fine, Adam. So they make some jokes about that. I did also see a trailer or a scene where like Skeletor kind of laughs. He's like ah ha, ha, ha. Does the villain laugh, and then kind of looks around like why isn't anybody else laughing? And it's like no, that's it, guys. That's the cue. That's where you're supposed to. And then Evil Lynn looks at him. Oh, I'm sorry, my lord. We're supposed. Yeah, we'll know for next time. So I hear Alison Brie is really great. She really kind of embraces Evil Lynn very well, and
I can see
uh,
her just getting into the camp too.
yeah, yeah. In fact, and they also lean into the idea that Skeletor is kind of an idiot. He's not good at being a villain, or he's not a very good. He's a powerful villain, but he's kind of a screw up. To the point where and that was something we saw in the cartoon all the time. There were a point where like Evil Lynn is probably a better bad guy, but she doesn't have she's smarter and more capable, but she doesn't have quite the power level that Skeletor has. We saw a better Skeletor in the Kevin Smith animated shows, but this one leans a little bit more into like the original cartoons of the 80s. So, but all in all, it's looking like it's really good. Now, let me see, let me pull this up. So MGM, Amazon MGM, now this is kind of an important thing. They're saying even though the new film has a reported budget of almost 200 million, not including the marketing, but only grossed 54.4 million worldwide during its opening weekend, director Travis Knight and the entire cast and filmmaking team have delivered something truly special. This is from Amazon, because it was Amazon MGM did the film. Has delivered something truly special, and this opening is exactly the kind of critical first moment that validates our holistic distribution strategy, building awareness and engagement that will carry well beyond the theatrical window, said Kevin Wilson, Amazon's MGM domestic distribution chief, in a statement. Essentially, Wilson is saying that the box office isn't the only measure of success for a film like Masters of the Universe, which is based on the iconic He-Man brand. Time will tell if the movie proves to have staying power, but with an 88, now 87% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, it seems movie fans are enjoying the new flick. See the He-Man returns for a derivative, comedy-fueled action fantasy that never takes itself seriously, for better or worse. It's much too slow off the mark, but there's infectious affection for the source material, and like him or loathe him, Jared Leto steals the show as Skeletor. So one of the things that, and like one of my friend I was talking to earlier today who had seen it, he said that when he first saw it, he was like worried that the whole let's start it on Earth kind of thing was going to be something like, I'm not going to want to see this. But
Yeah.
thankfully, he said that it doesn't really, they don't spend a ton of time on Earth.
That was my concern, was they were going to spend 2/3 of the movie on Earth,
No,
and that
and
only
he
the
said
last
they
third was going to be Eternia.
not really that much time. And he's like, it's very much like we got to get the kingdom's being taken over, and we got to get the baby out. We got to get the prince out of here, and it's really more about the sword, getting the power sword away from Skeletor. So the prince goes with the sword, and they send him to Earth. Oh, there's some thunder too. So anyway, one of these things that I've been talking about, that you and I have talked about on this show, is that the movie studios need to think about the fact that they need to think much more of the long term and much more beyond the theatrical review, the theatrical grossing of these movies. They need to think about the fact that the movies are going to be they're going to be popular in streaming. They're going to make a whole bunch of money, from streaming. They're going to make, at one point, it was also about the DVD and or Blu-ray
Yeah.
sales.
Yeah,
Now,
sorry, Wings. Yeah, it looks like we're losing packets again. We're in the red right now. But that could be the weather too.
Yeah.
Right now.
So anyway, they are. I've been saying this for a while, that these movie studios need to take into account the overall profit that is made from a movie that is more than just the theaters. The how much profit they're going to make from streaming, how much profit they're going to make from hard copies, how much profit they're going to make from the merchandising. This movie could very well,
Merchandising, where the
where the
real money
is.
from the movie is made.
Now, the other thing that people said, it went up against Scary Movie, and Scary Movie did extremely well. Scary Movie 6, which was surprising because a lot of people thought that.
Yeah, I they shouldn't they have stopped like 3 movies ago with that?
Well, that's the thing. Scary Movie 6 wasn't well reviewed. This one was pretty well reviewed. And a lot of people were like, Scary Movie, it's not really any funny. It's not funny anymore. That this isn't a funny movie. And on top of it, the kind of people that went to see Scary Movie aren't necessarily the people that are going to go and see He-Man as much.
Right.
But the other thing that people talked about is that He-Man, Transformers has had a little bit more longevity in the public culture, in the culture. It wasn't like all of a sudden we had a Transformers movie, even though there hadn't been Transformers cartoons for years. The Transformers kind of continued to reinvent themselves, and we had a Transformers show every few years with Beast Wars and all these other things. He-Man, we had the original cartoon. We had the reboot in the early aughts in like '02, and that's it. Well, there was the
There
original
was
cartoon. There was like a reboot.
there was the Dolph Lundgren movie.
Well, sure, but that was in the same era as the cartoon. So the cartoon, the Dolph Lundgren movie, there was another like version of He-Man that lasted for that was only a season, and then there was the '02 reboot where they tried to, which was pretty good actually. And then there's the Kevin Smith cartoon. That's about it. We haven't had He-Man for a long, long time. Transformers kind of consistently reinvented themselves, and then we got the Michael Bay movies. So Transformers were in the common culture a little bit more. This movie is bringing back, is really more for like people like you and me that grew up on it, as opposed to like a movie for a bunch of kids. That's why it's also a PG-13 movie. So, I think what this is probably what we could potentially see is that this movie will probably have more legs with streaming and rentals and things like that. And I don't think this is necessarily a death knell that we won't see a sequel. I think that we could still potentially see a sequel. That sequel may go direct to Amazon. It may be an
Yeah.
Amazon release as opposed to the theaters. But I think I think that's what Amazon is thinking. They're like, okay, maybe the next one we don't put it in the theaters. Maybe we just put it directly to Amazon, directly to Prime. So I'm still planning on going to see it. I might go and see it maybe Sunday or something if I don't have anything else going on. Maybe Saturday afternoon. I'm not sure. But
Saturday afternoon, I'll be at the memorial. So
I was thinking about going to the memorial later.
I'm planning on being there for quite a while. So
okay. So either way, so yeah, I'm going to talk about that real quick too. But anyways, so guys, go and see Masters of the Universe. It sounds like it's a blast. Everybody I know that's seen it already has said it's a blast. Most of the reviews, I'm like, hey, this is a lot of fun. It's not going to change the world. It's not going to win any Oscars, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So, we should probably we should mention it. Our friend Michael passed away a few years ago.
10 years ago.
Was it 10 now?
This is the 10th anniversary.
Is it the 10th anniversary? He passed away 10 years ago. He was a good
on Star
friend.
Wars Day, actually.
Was it?
On Star Wars
You're
Day.
right, it was. It was. He was somebody you had known for like, what, half your life? I mean,
I've known him since I was 16.
Yeah. I had known him since I was in I think I met him in my mid-20s originally. And we became friends, and he was extremely supportive. He was extremely supportive of my art. He was extremely supportive of my performance and everything that I did at Ren Fair and my makeup and everything. He was known to be, when steampunk took off, he became kind of Mr. Steampunk in the area here in Detroit. He was also very active in the pagan community. He was a Rennie.
He won Pagan of the Year one year.
Yeah. He was a really good person, really good man, and he passed away in his sleep.
At the age of 50.
At the age of 50. Big fan of Rockstar. He was like, he always had
Cigarettes
a can
and
of
Rockstar, man. That's what he lived on.
Cigarettes and Rockstar, yep. So yeah, the 10-year anniversary of his death, or celebration of his life, really, is this Saturday. So
yeah, it's Forever 50.
Forever 50.
The party.
Michael Wiggins, he was, we should raise a glass to him. I'm going to raise my Pepsi in response to his caffeine addiction.
Yeah.
To Michael.
But yeah, he was always one to. He always had a quick comeback.
Yes, he was sharp.
And I'll tell you what, when I came back to Michigan and told him I was getting divorced, was at Convo.
Yeah.
And I walk up and I first time I'd seen him there. I walk up, say hi to him, as we shake hands. I tell him that I'm getting divorced, and he's
Mhm.
like, "Congratulations, I'm sorry." And
Yeah.
then, like, not even a beat later, she's single as somebody walks by.
The same shit to me. Yeah. I went to the Motor City like steampunk con, and my ex-wife and I decided, that when we first decided to get divorced, we didn't want all the excessive drama, so we didn't really tell anybody right away. And then I was going to go to the con, and I said to Kirsten, I'm like, I'm going to this convention. I'm going to be there with a lot of my friends. Some of them are going to be asking why you're not here. I'm going to tell them we're getting a divorce. And I came in, I got my room squared away. I was kind of treating myself because I was working a job where I wasn't making a lot of money, but I I spent the money on a room for the weekend. I bought like $200 worth of booze, and I got set up. I walked down. Michael was having a cigarette out front. I walked up to him and I was like, "Guess what? I'm getting a divorce." And he was like, "Really?" And I think he said something to the effect of, like, "Congratulations, I'm sorry." And then like basically looked around and went, "I think she's single." And it was just like, and then I think Cindy was standing right there too, and was his wife at the time, and we kind of laughed a little bit, and then it was funny too because then like one of the other girls from Ren Fair was standing nearby, and she goes, "Wait, you're single?" And I'm like, "Are you getting a divorce?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm getting a divorce." And I was expecting people to be more like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that." She ran off, grabbed two other girls, and came back up to me, and all of them kind of looked up and like, "Hi, Russ." And I was like, "What the fuck?" All women that were at least 10 years younger than me. And I think it was like 38 at the time, 37, right around 37, I think. And I was like, "What the fuck was that?" And then they like kind of scampered off or whatever. And then Cindy was the one who's like, I'm like, "What was that about?" She goes, "You're in your 30s. You've been married. You're getting a divorce, which means you can get married. You can, which means you can have a relationship. That's kind of money in the bank, man." I was like, "All right, right on." Michael's great. He was very, there were days when I was walking around that festival, particularly when I was head of security and everything, or when I was in the upper echelons of my security, and um, stressing out about things, and he was like always supportive, always had a supportive word,
Yep.
and he was also the kind of guy that would, fuck with you a little bit too.
Hmm. So, unfortunately, we are getting some serious lag with the upload right now. I'm sorry, guys. It's not as bad as it has been, but I watched it drop down to like 95 kilobits per second at
Mhm.
one point. So, and it's just staying in the red. So I know that we're probably lagging and stuff again. I'm gonna have to figure out what is going on with that. Because it's obviously something with this computer, because we didn't have the problem on Friday night when we did our game.
No, yeah, but that's a different computer.
Yeah, it is. It's a different computer. Still plugged into the same modem, so it may be that I just have to move things around and maybe get a new cable or something to
Hmm.
or no, 'cause that's actually built in the motherboard. I was gonna say I needed to get a new network card, but that would mean actually getting a new motherboard, and I ain't doing that right now.
No.
Um,
Well, guys, if that is the case, if you get frustrated, the show will be put up on the website, on the YouTube
on
page,
YouTube, yep.
as soon as
Unfortunately,
possible.
you the problem with watching it on YouTube is you don't get to be part of the conversation.
No, you don't get to be part of the conversation, unfortunately. So
I just saw
that is
lightning.
the disadvantage. So anyway, we will be celebrating Michael's life
Yep.
on Saturday. His life,
Moniac will be had,
Moniac. Oh, thank the gods.
which
Um,
actually John actually was talking with me, and he's like, "Oh shit, you were just over there." one of Michael's favorite drinks was Stag's Breath, and you can't get it here in the States. And you used to be able to get it in Canada, but now you can't even get it in Canada. It's only available in Europe. And he's like, "You were just over there." I said, "Yeah, if you had told me to pick some up, I would have gladly brought it back." Because it's also, I believe, not that expensive of a liquor. It's just you just can't get it here. I had forgotten about it. It's pretty good. I don't remember what it is, but I remember liking it. But anyway, yeah, that'll be us on Saturday. So,
Okay.
all right, where do we want to go from here? I got a couple things.
Well, I just did 2 things. Why don't you go ahead?
All right, so there's a big announcement. I think it was over the weekend. Maybe it was just the other day, late last week. Star Wars Zero Company, the next Star Wars game that's coming out, has it has a gameplay trailer up on YouTube.
Cool.
And 2, it has a release date. It is going to be late August of this year, which actually kind of surprised some people. They weren't sure it was going to come out then. This is a single player tactical strategy game, or turn-based strategy game, sorry.
What is it called again?
Star Wars Zero Company.
Zero Company. Yeah, I heard something about this as well.
Yeah, it is a single player turn-based tactics game. So I'm going to watch the trailer, see if it's something I might like. I have a feeling it probably will be. I do like the like turn-based I do like strategy games. So so yeah, I'll check it out. I'll watch some of the I think it's like a half an hour video on the from what I heard on the gameplay trailer.
Okay.
Actually, I've got it right here. Let's see. Oh, I passed it. There it is. If I just throw it up here, if this comes through, sorry, we're going to do that. Oh, it's 3 minutes, I guess. It's only 3 minutes. 3 minutes and 8 seconds, the official gameplay trailer. I will watch that later. But yeah, I mean, hey, it's a Star Wars game. I wasn't overly impressed with Outlaws. I really wanted to like that game a lot. I really, really, really wanted to like that game, and I was bored with it.
Yeah, see, I played all the way through it, and I actually enjoyed it a great deal. I think it's one of those games. It is and I guarantee it is one of those games that you got to get through the first few hours of the game. You got to get, maybe I'd say even as much the first like 10 hours of the game, and
that was the thing. That was a
it
little too
starts,
much. I think I was about 6 hours in, and I'm like, I'm bored. I'm tired of riding all over this goddamn planet.
And it starts. That's where it starts to pick up.
And getting attacked by half the people that I drive by.
Right. Well, that's the thing. As you do more work for the various factions, you gain reputation, and then you don't get attacked when you're in those lands that the factions control. Then you don't get attacked by those various people, and so it's definitely a game that you gotta put the legwork in. There's some grinding in for that game, and I don't know, Chris. Sometimes I don't think you're as much of a grinder.
I'm not. I did all my grinding back in EverQuest. I'm done with grinding. EverQuest was just a grind. Yeah, CD's definitely behind. He's still talking about like the girls coming up to you.
Oh, okay. I get the I definitely understand what you're saying though. It's I think they were just sympathetic. They were sympathetic, but they were also apparently I was much prettier in my youth. So
in your own mind.
My hair was longer. But anyways, because I can always count on CD to bring me down to earth with my ego. So. But anyways, yeah, that's I think Outlaws ended strong. There was also a few DLC that kind of like also expanded it a little bit and helped. It's too bad that you didn't like it. I mean, but that's the thing. It was
not
a bit
that I didn't like
divisive.
it. It's just it seemed to be too much of a time suck because there was so much grind. It was I felt like I would play for 2 hours and not do anything, not get anywhere. And
it was also very stealth oriented too. You could go in guns a blazing, but it was a harder way of winning.
But yeah,
that
as soon as and the thing is that as soon as you fucked up with your stealth, because stealth is difficult. I don't mind
Mhm.
it. I enjoy it.
Sure.
But a lot of times, if you fucked up with your stealth, you were just done. You were dead, and you had to start all over again.
Mhm.
And I'm like that. There was one where I was struggling with it, and I'm like trying to figure it out, and I finally figure out one spot. All right, now I get to the next spot. All right, well, how the fuck do I get past this? And I figure that out, and then I get to but it takes me another 3 tries, and I'm like, okay, now I get to here, and shit, how do I do this? Nope, no, I'm fucked now. As it was basically as soon as I got spotted, I would just reset
Mhm.
because I'm like, I know I'm gonna get killed. I don't have the firepower to fight my way out of this. I'm not good enough with the mouse point and shoot.
I can dig that. I can dig that. It also, yeah, like I said, it kind of depends on your your gameplay style too. I played it on my PS5 and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was playing it on the computer. Maybe if I try it on the PS5.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
didn't. I was part of my Ubisoft subscription. And I canceled that and got rid of it. So I actually don't own the game right now. So I could get it for the the PlayStation and try it on there, but we'll see.
Okay. Give it a, I mean, shit, I'd be willing to loan you my disc, I mean, if you want. If you want to give that another shot. Uh, um, so anyway, but you talked about the this new game, and it would be
Yeah.
a strategy,
Yeah,
more
it's
strategy,
single
right?
player turn-based strategy game.
Okay.
Looks like it's going to be
I mean,
looking at the pictures, it's going to be like third person isometric
mm-hmm. Top-down
or
isometric?
top down isometric. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. Yeah. From the angles that it's showing. That's what it looks like. And it shows like it's supposed to take place at the very end of the Clone Wars.
Okay.
It looks like some
Um,
of it is Jedi, some of it is droid. I'm guessing some of it's trooper based on clone troopers based on some of it. Looks like Mandalorians are in there.
cool. I mean, I'd be interested to check that out. That's really cool.
Yeah. So yeah, Star Wars Zero Company.
Cool. I just
It's also
like
brought to you by Electronic Arts, who are the ones that originally worked with Bio. I forget the name of the company.
BioShock.
No, it wasn't BioShock. Maybe it was BioShock. Anyway, they're the ones that brought that did the original Star Wars Online, the Old Republic Online. When they first did it, they sold it off to whoever's doing it now, but to maintain it. But yeah,
Okay.
they were the ones that originally did it. Electronic Arts. They're also known for their sports games.
Right on. Well, speaking of video games
EA.
too, I just came across this ad and I wanted to look into it. Vampire the Masquerade has been around for a long time
Mhm.
as tabletop role playing game. They've had a few video games. One in particular that was known to be particularly uh, like impactful, and it was Bloodlines. More recently, there have been a couple games that came out that were kind of failures, or not so much failures, just didn't get the positive response that they were hoping for. Swan Song, which I played for about, God damn, it's like red outside now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. It's kind of like a purplish.
Yeah. The Swan Song did not grab me. I tried playing it on my PlayStation and it was just not good. And then Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, which has had a kind of a start and stop kind of thing, came out last year. And although some people liked it and it got very middling reviews and very
I thought it was
middling
kind of
reactions.
dull when I played through the tutorial.
Yeah. So a lot of people were like, I purchased it, I got it on sale, and it's on my list.
I I've got it on my computer here, but I haven't played it
Blood
in a year.
Right. Bloodlines 1 was kind of a groundbreaking video game. It was very very important when it came to establishing Vampire the Masquerade and everything. There have been other kinds of games, different things like that that have followed up that they've tried. It just they hadn't been able to match it. There's been a few video games that computer games that were just very story driven, kind of a just not an adventure game. Well, we got a new game coming out. It was just announced possibly today, maybe yesterday. I think it might have been today or yesterday. Um, it's called going to be Vampire the Masquerade Eternal Whispers. It is a CRPG, so it looks like it's only coming to the computer for now from developer Flyos, Flyos. The publisher is Qualee, Kwalee. It is Eternal Whispers is a narrative-driven CRPG set in the world of darkness, awakened from decades of torpor into a dark modern Montreal, consumed by political intrigue, buried secrets, and personal horror. One of the cool things about Baldur's Gate 3 was when you rolled the dice, you saw the dice roll, and it looks like they have that going on here in this game. It does look like it's another top-down isometric kind of game, similar to the original Baldur's Gate or sort of those early D&D video games like Icewind Dale, and the Pathfinder video games. So
That's kind of what BG3 was too. You could move
mhm,
around.
yeah,
But
BG3 was you could just it was a top-down isometric, but you could zoom in really close. You could get to that. Um, this game looks similar in that kind of vein. So I am kind of I don't know, it looks good. We don't have a release date on this because like I said, it looks like it was they're premiering it or it was released yesterday. It doesn't look like it's going to be particularly taxing on a computer, so I think people should be able to play this game, um, and it shouldn't be too taxing on most computers. So
cool.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this.
So
We
one
shall
of
see.
the other things that I did over the weekend
Mhm.
was I watched the first episode of Vox Machina season 4.
Cool. What did you think?
Uh I thought it was okay. It wasn't the strongest start, but I think it's gonna be one that I think it's gonna. Unfortunately, I think this is not going to be their best season, only because I think it's going to take them a few episodes to wind up getting the band back together.
Mm.
Um, and because right now, Percy and I always mix them up, Vex,
Hmm.
are off at Whitestone. Um, you've got um Scanlan's off with his daughter. You've
Hmm.
got Grog and Pike are still together, but they're super depressed because nobody else is around. Keyleth's off doing her thing, I think,
Hmm.
with Vax. So there
It's easier to remember Vexalia and Vax'ildan if you
yeah.
have a tough time.
But anyway, so they're all kind of split up.
I see.
And
Okay.
so it's most of this is there's some stuff going on with Vex and Percy because of the shit that's going on at Whitestone. Like Percy's experimenting with the sphere of annihilation, really
Okay.
underneath Whitestone, trying to figure out what it is, what sets it off. Um, and then and there's this shit goes down, and then there's Grog and Pike being Grog and Pike.
Hey,
Hey, white
white
boy,
boy. Good to see ya.
yo. Um, shit, we're starting to lose packets again. Oh, nope, now we're back.
Okay.
Anyway, the um it's just a lot of that. And then in this episode though, who we do meet is Tarrington Darrington.
Right. He was the one that actually he was created to replace Scanlan because Scanlan left the group for a while to go
Yeah.
off with his daughter.
Yep.
And so Sam created Tyrion Darrington as a replacement, and he became this funny, kind of silly replacement character that a lot of people feel like had like it definitely had some like interesting, so it had an interesting kind of kind of history. It was kind of
So
interesting.
he's we looked him up because I never got to Tarrington in the show,
Okay.
and so we looked him up, and he originally was a um an artificer alchemist
Mm-hmm.
in the game. Then he kind of morphed into a battlesmith. In this, he's kind of both.
Okay.
Um, he has his guardian, um, his steel guardian, uh, whose name I forget.
Dodie. Dodie.
Dodie, yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah,
Dodie.
that he built. He built
Yeah,
Dodie.
well, yeah, that's what battlesmiths do. They build
Okay. Yeah.
they build their steel guardian.
Oh,
It's
okay.
that's what Alfred is for Marlowe.
Bro, okay. Right.
He's a steel guardian. Uh, so but anyway, and Dodie's always taking notes. Take notes, Dodie. And so he just
Take
sits
this
there.
down,
Yeah,
Dodie.
yeah, take this down, Dodie. So they do that a lot. But he also has any of the spells he casts, he uses gems, which is
Yeah.
kind of the same as what the alchemist would do with potions.
Well, basically, yeah. Basically, what he did is he purchased because he's a rich guy from a rich family, and he basically just purchased his powers. So all of his magic abilities and stuff all come from his helmet or his breastplate or whatever.
Yeah,
But he
but
did say he built Dodie, so yeah.
yeah. So I mean, so he got introduced, but it's a lot of. It's been a year. They do say that it's been a year since the last ones, since the last season. So,
All right.
like I said, I've only watched the first episode so far. The first three are out. I think the fourth one will come out tonight or tomorrow, or the next three. I think they're doing them in
Usually,
threes again.
I think Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, I think they're probably going to do them in threes again, like they did before. So,
Yeah, I believe so.
but yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to give it a shot. The animation's still good. The acting's still good. It's
Yeah.
It just it wasn't grabbing me this time like it had been.
Okay. Did you hear about speaking of some of like drama with
Oh,
Critical
and
Role?
sorry, real quick.
Go ahead.
Also,
Mhm.
that video you showed me of the song, um, with Travis Willingham and
Okay.
they're it's not that video, but it's the like little animated one portion.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
actually right at the beginning of the first episode.
Oh, is it
That
really?
song and that it is right at the beginning of the first episode. It's Grog recapping what's happened so far.
Oh, I see. Okay. Um, so apparently,
We're gonna fuck shit up.
yeah, Travis Willingham has picked up the job of he's going to be replacing the actor who was doing the voice of Sephiroth, I think, in uh the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Mm-hmm.
So, which was originally, I guess, the actor who was playing Superman, not the current one, but the one that was on the show. Um, I guess he can't return for basically the third section of the remake of Final Fantasy VII. So yeah, Travis Willingham is taking over, and some people have been like, "What the fuck? That sucks. We want the original guy." But then a lot of fans of Travis are like, "No, he's going to be great. He's going to be fantastic."
Tyler
So
Hoechlin. is his
Tyler
name.
Hoechlin, that was what it was. You're right. So, um, I don't know. This should be cool. But it's good for cool for Travis getting a pretty big deal job. That's a big one.
Yeah.
So,
Which, by the way, I have the Sephiroth 60 card Magic the Gathering deck. Pretty badass deck, actually. I really like it.
So, I really like when I got into Critical Role, I've talked about this before. I wanted to start at the beginning. It was probably about halfway through campaign 2 when I got into Critical Role. So I was like, all right, I want to start at the beginning. And I'm glad that I did because I very much enjoyed um, Vox Machina. I enjoyed how the game, kind of how watching the show itself build up. Oh, Kingdom Hearts 4
Or
trailer?
I didn't know there was a Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah,
I
I
haven't played
didn't
the other
either.
ones yet. They're on my
I played
on my PlayStation right now, but
I played 2 and 3. And I felt
I
like
have
2
2 is one combo. Then I got 1.5,
hmm,
2, and 3.
yeah. A lot of those point 0.5 the middle games were mostly like released in Japan, in the Far East, and they're not as necessary. I enjoyed the second one. I felt the third one was a little bloated, but they were still fun. I probably won't play the fourth one. I don't know. It depends. Um, anyway, what was they saying? So anyway, I very much enjoyed Vox Machina, and like I said, watching the actual production values and improve and stuff like that. If watching the drama of like um the what's his name, Orion Akaba, who ended up having to leaving the show, and all of a sudden then his character Tiberius goes kind of disappearing, and that was a little kind of funny, but and I think it allowed me a little bit greater appreciation of the Mighty Nine because they are so different
Mm-hmm.
from Vox Machina, and it was like they definitely wanted to stretch their legs and spread their wings, so to speak, as gamers at that point. Um, so yeah, I'm very much enjoying Vox Machina. I know you're not enjoying it as much as Mighty Nine, but because I know Mighty Nine was like your introduction to
No, I
Critical
started
Role.
watching Vox Machina, and then Mighty Nine came out. So I
The
mean, I actually
cartoon or the original shows.
the original
Didn't you?
shows.
Oh, okay. So you did catch part of
Yeah,
Vox?
yeah. I
Vox?
started
Okay.
watching Vox Machina, and I stopped watching it to watch um campaign 2.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right.
And I liked the
Well,
characters a lot more, so I kept watching campaign 2, and
oh, and then just decided that you didn't really
yeah, and
weren't
then I
interested
would
in
go back
finishing.
and watch campaign 1 when I caught up, because I actually caught up on campaign 2
Mm-hmm.
at one point. When I started that, I was a little behind, but then I went back and watched it. I would go back and watch some of campaign 1. I mean, I'm over halfway through campaign 1.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to finish it. I just haven't gone back to it. I don't have time.
It is a lot. I've been meaning to like restart
And I'm one that
campaign 3.
I can't just listen to it. I know
Mechanical.
you listen to it a lot at work and stuff like that.
Mm.
I can't do that. I sit here and I'll have it on, and when they talk, I have to turn and look to watch their like facial reactions, and I don't want to just listen to it.
Um, it is
Just
harder sometimes. I will listen to it and then I'll pause if I can tell something as I'm listening to it, if I can tell something rather dramatic has happened, then I will like pause whatever I'm doing. I'll go back and I might even rewind it a little bit just so I can see what the hell I missed. Um, but for the most part, I do tend to just kind of listen to it. Um, I'm actually planning on kind of starting over on campaign 4 because I was kind of paying attention to it, listening to it last season when it started or last year, and then I just kind of fell away from it. So,
it's
uh,
kind of like a fucking um Robert Jordan book. There's just book series. There's just too many characters. to keep track of.
That is true. That is something I have heard. It is like there's definitely a lot of characters and a lot of stuff going on to
There are
keep
like
track.
16 main characters.
Yeah, something like that. Hmm. So yeah, that's one of the criticisms I have heard is that it is a lot more a lot more complex and a lot more to try and keep track of. So
And if I'm sorry, I just got tired of Brendan Lee Mulligan saying in this moment over and over and over again. I like the guy as a DM, but
mhm.
he needs a new phrase.
So speaking of Brendan Lee Mulligan, for those of you guys who haven't caught it, it is choice. The TV show Ted, which is based on the movie, the two movies, Ted and Ted 2, that Seth MacFarlane created about the boy who wished for his teddy bear to come to life. The teddy bear comes to life, and then he becomes a celebrity, and he ends up growing up, and he's just this living teddy bear. And in the cartoon, or in the show, he is it's a prequel. It's when the character of John or Johnny and Ted the teddy bear are still in high school, and it's in its second season. It's pretty fucking funny, but it's also very much a creation of Seth MacFarlane. So a lot of swearing. I think it's on Peacock. So there's a lot of swearing, a lot of sexual humor, no nudity or anything, but a lot of that kind of thing. But
A
there
lot of
is an
potty
episode,
humor.
a lot of potty humor. There is, but it's also a lot of like the kind of thing where like John and Ted just have these kind of funny, deep conversations. The two of them just thinking about stuff and whatever, and they're like, "What do you think about this?" And so there's the aspects of that. But one of the episodes is they are trying to buy weed. They're out of weed, and they go to this one guy, and they're like, who's a dungeon master, and his party is the guys that he was playing with are being kind of like they're just frustrated with him, and they're like, ah, fuck you guys, fuck you guys, and so they leave, and it's Brendan Lee Mulligan is playing the dungeon master, and they're trying to buy weed off of this guy, and they're like, I tell you what, why don't we play this game? If we can beat your campaign, if we can beat your whole story, then you sell us the weed or you give us the weed. And because he was like, D&D game with real world stakes, he's like, all right, I'm in. So, um, but he's like, but we have to go to your place because, I got to go pick up my kid from school or something, whatever. And so they set up and they start playing the game, but John's parents, played by Alana Ubach and Scott Grimes, are like worried about not being in his life enough. So they kind of go downstairs and, well, we want to play too. So they play D&D with them and don't know that they're playing for weed. And so what they do is they end up filming these actors playing their characters, in costume and everything. So as they're playing the game, you're seeing the game unfold, and it's fucking hilarious because like his mom doesn't know anything about being a fighter. His dad's this kind of mildly racist guy. At one point, he's like, "Okay, you guys can all choose your race. Like I've set up your characters, but you can choose your race." And the dad goes, "I want to be white." He's this douchebag from Boston, like, I just want to be white. And no, we mean like dwarf or elf. It's like, white. Can I be white? Isn't that a choice? Like, oh, for fuck's sake. Um, and but it's really funny, and you might have seen the clip online where the mom confronts the big bad at the end and basically just talks him down instead of fighting him. She kind of like befriends him, and it is the funniest fucking thing. So definitely check that out, Ted. It's like third or fourth episode in the second season, and really fucking funny, particularly for D&D guys. And you get to see Brendan Lee Mulligan like doing his thing in a different environment than like Critical Role or Dimension 20 or that kind of thing. So it's kind of cool. So
But yeah,
yeah,
so Vox
let's
Machina
see.
though, season 4.
Season 4. I'm excited. I'm going to check it out. Probably get started watching it pretty soon. a show that I actually just started doing, getting into. There's the zoom here. Hang on, I got too many
Oh
tabs.
wow! I just watched a bunch of lightning outside.
Oh, okay.
Like actually, like cloud. I actually saw the cloud to cloud lightning, which is always fucking cool.
Oh yeah. Well, it got because of the storm, it got a lot darker
Yeah.
faster. You know. Um, a show that I just started watching to switch gears. I just started watching Spider Noir on Amazon
Mm.
Prime.
It's on my
You know,
list. Renee doesn't
yeah,
want to see it, so it's all me. So I just got to find some time to watch it.
dude. I watched the first two episodes. I don't want to go into spoilers
I
or
was going to
anything.
watch it last weekend. Renee was out, or last week one night, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I can watch Spider Noir because at the time I thought it was a movie. I didn't realize it
Mhm.
was a show. But I was gonna sit down and watch it, and I turned on Prime, and I went, oh wait, no, I've got the Jack Ryan movie to watch, so I watched that instead.
Hmm. Okay, well, the show is based on the comic book of Spider Noir, and it is a alternate universe in the Marvel universe, and it is an alternate Spider-Man named Ben Riley. Ben Riley is actually the name taken by the clone of Spider-Man who becomes the Scarlet Spider and later becomes other things. Um, Interesting. I just got an email about Star Wars Zero Company.
Huh?
Interesting. Just an ad email, but
Yeah,
anyway,
I got one the other day.
so every move counts. So yeah, 8/27/26. So coming out later this year. So anyway, it takes place on an alternate Marvel universe, like I said, where Spider-Man and all those characters, the Marvel characters, are developed much earlier in history. One and two, that it is they are it's a much more of a noir universe. You know, everything is a lot darker. Now we saw Spider-Man Noir, Spider Noir, voiced by Nicolas Cage in the first animated Spider-Man movie. Um, I can't remember Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse or whatever the fuck it
Mm.
was called. Which was amazing. It was fantastic. And there was some really funny shit. Like he lives his world in black and white, and like he's looking at a Rubik's cube and doesn't quite understand it, things like that. So basically, they took that character and said to Nick Cage, he was like, "Hey, you want to play this in real life? You want to play this a live action show?" And he went, "Absolutely." And Nick Cage is a big comic book fan. He's um, uh, and he does a great job. He's snarky. The character the show picks up basically 5 years after he decides to like call it quits after some tragic shit happens. Um, Again, it doesn't look like he's got an Aunt May or an Uncle Ben. He gets the whole with great power comes great responsibility thing from someone else. All of the villains, like he gets his powers a different way. The villains all get their powers in a different way and are different, like very different take on them, like Sandman and the Lizard and Black Cat. I haven't seen. Like I said, I'm only 2 episodes in, so I haven't seen like a Doc Ock or a Green Goblin yet. But who knows? Uh, I think it's fantastic. And one of the coolest things about this is on Amazon Prime, you can watch it in black and white,
Mm-hmm.
or you can watch it in color, and you can switch between back and forth if you want while you're watching it. So if you're kind of like, wow, that looks really cool. I wonder what color that is. Um, you can swap it. You can just flip over to the other show, to the other version. I watched the first episode in black and white. I watched the second episode in color, and I've had different friends say different things. So some of my friends are like, "Oh no, you gotta watch it in black and white. It's perfect in black and white." And then I had another buddy who was like, "No, watch it in color, man. It's still film noir. It's just in color, and the colors are so intense and it's really really cool." So it's absolutely fantastic. It's also just premium Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage at his finest. My dad actually doesn't like Nick Cage, and talks about and there's a lot of people that have just like certain actors they just like can't stand. And Nick Cage is kind of one of those actors that some people just do not get into him, his overacting
Mm-hmm.
or his whatever. And I don't have that problem. I like Nick Cage. And this movie or this TV show is perfect for him. Um, he's playing the character just spot on. A grizzled older guy who's frustrated and had some tragic shit happen to him, and it also does take place during the Depression. It takes place like before World War II. He's a World War One vet, that kind of thing. So highly recommended, guys. If you can watch, if you have Amazon Prime, it is well worth it to
Yeah.
spend the time.
So CD said, I heard it's perfect casting. I can't hate on Nick Cage. Is he winning Oscars? No.
No,
he
but he has. He won for
He
Leaving Las Vegas, if I remember
could
correctly.
win an Oscar for overacting.
Yeah. Like I said, I believe he won an Oscar for Leaving Las Vegas. So,
Yeah, but he does lots of back taxes, so he works a lot. That man
That's
never
funny.
turns down a movie.
Nope. That was one of the gags about it. It's like, and now I actually saw an interview that said that he did not name his son Kal-El after Superman. Apparently, Kal-El is also a Jewish name. It's like a traditional, like a Hebrew name or something like that. And I'm like, okay, I don't know
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
But it does make sense too. I mean, the guys that created Superman, I believe, were two Jewish guys from Ohio, so they might have pulled from.
So I actually just pulled up is Cal dash, and it came up with El Hebrew. Is officially a fictional Kryptonian name. It is widely believed to be a deliberate nod to Hebrew. In Hebrew, the suffix El means God, which I knew that.
Mm-hmm.
It actually means multiple gods. Or Elohim actually means that, I think. El is a single god. And is heavily tied to angelic and prophetic names. The prefix Cal, which means light or swift, but many scholars and fans interpret the name as voice of God. Similar to Kol El.
Aha.
So,
okay, well,
while it's not directly that they believe there is some similarity. He took his face off.
It's off. Yeah.
Raising Arizona, Raising Arizona was awful.
But it's considered kind of a cult classic.
I know, but
Arizona.
I am not in the cult.
Yeah. I mean, he was really funny and in Renfield. I got to admit, his portrayal of Dracula, way over the top, but
I love him in National Treasure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was perfect for that, I mean, who didn't love The Rock?
The Rock was great.
Right.
And not just because of
Con Air.
Yeah, Con Air was good.
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of Nick Cage movies.
Right. Me too. No, I loved The Rock. I did too, man. It was great. There's some really great lines that he delivers. Yeah. It's one of those things we wish we could uninvent. Yeah. Looking great. What else? We got a couple more minutes here. We can delve into a couple more things, I think. Let's see. I had a couple of things.
Or we could end things.
I
don't have anything else. So.
Couple quick hits. The Paradise Lost TV show, they were trying to make a Wonder Woman prequel about Themyscira. Apparently, at one point, they kind of shuttered it, but now, according to the Writers Guild of America, reported that Kira Snyder and Janet Lynn are both attached to Paradise Lost, a couple as writers. No official announcement has been made by James Gunn or DC. Gunn did pitch Paradise Lost as a Game of Thrones inspired kind of show exploring the history of the Amazons on Themyscira before Wonder Woman's birth. But in February, rumor emerged that Paradise Lost had been canceled. He debunked those rumors and said the series was in extreme development. So it looks like that may be the case, that they have some writers working on it. Let me see. The Fable trailer did reveal a release date, so there's because of the new Fable game coming out. Haley apparently playing the villain. It is confirmed a 2027 release date because recently it was announced that it was being pushed back a bit. February 23rd of 27. So, not pushed back as much as we had originally thought. So that's good as well. Let's see. I had a couple here. Let's see. Yeah, the Spider Noir review that I had pulled up gave it 3.5 stars. No, yeah, 3.5 stars out of 5. Delightfully campy, tonally inconsistent cure for superhero fatigue. So, the pros: fun and easy to watch. Karen Rodriguez and Nicolas Cage have quippy, laugh out loud banter. Unique use of some of the best villains in Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery. Cons: unraveling mystery is well paced but doesn't feel high stakes. Moments meant to be dramatic twists feel entirely predictable. The color versus black and white option is more of a distraction than anything. So,
I plan on watching it in black and white.
what's that?
I said I
You
plan on watching it in black and white.
I mean, like I said, I watched the first in black and white. I watched the second in color. I'm not quite sure. I think I might go back and forth. The Invincible versus video game, a joyfully gory fighting game adaptation. It is a fighting game that you can get across all platforms right now. It's doing pretty well. It got 4 out of 5 stars on Games Radar. Let's see. This story lacks emotional impact, and the absence of some show actors breaks immersion because it's based a lot on the cartoon. Which is, I mean, evidently they're not going to base it necessarily just on the comic book. So it is a fighting game based on the cartoon. An easy to learn fighting system that's no less fun for it. Decent array of game modes and fun dialogue between characters. So that's kind of cool. I'm not a big fighting game guy, so I don't know if I'm going to get this, but I do love Invincible, and I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know if
but I
I'd
have
do
heard
it as a fighting game.
I've heard it's bloody as hell, just like the show.
Well, it should be.
Mhm. Spider-Man Brand New Day coming out in July has a pretty bulky runtime at 2 hours and 30 minutes. It's 150 minutes. It beats out the former longest Spider-Man movie, No Way Home, at 148. In fact, Brand New Day's bumper length puts it squarely in the frame for one of the longest MCU movies ever made, only being topped by Eternals, 156 minutes, Black Panther Wakanda Forever at 161 minutes, and Avengers Endgame at 181 minutes. I forgot that movie was 3 hours long. We fully expect Avengers Doomsday to join that list later this year, however. They've also said that there are some new scenes, like they're doing some Spider-Man filming is being filmed right now, but they don't know if it's for a supplemental stuff for the next big Marvel movie or if they're throwing in some more stuff into Brand New Day. My guess, Brand New Day is in the can. It's coming out in July. I don't think they're gonna add any more to it. There was also a pretty big game thing. Like 2 weeks ago, we had a big game like reveal kind of stuff, but now the Summer Game Fest is coming up, so there's a bunch of stuff being dropped already. In fact, I got an email saying a bunch of games that are on my wish list on Steam are now up for sale, or, are like on sale. Let's see. The Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced is coming out. That's pretty cool. They're basically redoing one of the best reviewed and most heavily played Assassin's Creed games, the pirate one. They did a bunch of stuff about the Final Fantasy VII Revelation, which is the third part in the Final Fantasy VII remake. God of War La Fey with Deborah. Was it Deborah? I always forget her name. Damn it. The sequel to God of War Ragnarok. Deborah Enwall. Thank you. They've been putting out a lot of footage. I actually watched the 20-minute footage thing.
Renee was showing it to me, and she's like, holy shit, Deborah Ann Wall's doing the voice and mocap for this. I said, yeah, I saw her like doing the mocap thing. She's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but look. And she's like, watch when she wakes up. And she's like, sits up, and it's like, it's her.
It's her.
It is
Yeah.
her in the game. It's
Well, that's what it is. I mean, they do it, in the previous game too, in God of War, Ragnarok, and everything. She does show up a few times in flashback and dream sequences. And it really is her. In fact, the only actor, from what I understand, the only actor that really doesn't look much like their character is Kratos.
mm-hmm.
Because it's voiced by, a black dude, and Kratos is pale Grecian, I mean, Greek dude. So it does seem to feature um, a lot of, like, it takes place in the afterlife. It seems to feature like Egyptian gods and adventure. I mean, it looks pretty fucking wild, and I think it's going to be fucking awesome. They've also talked about that this is not not the last sequel. That they have plans for um, more stuff for God of War. I'm like, oh, that is fucking awesome. I'm totally jazzed about that. Wolverine stuff for the Wolverine video game. Um, Until Dawn 2, Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun 2. So a lot of stuff coming out game wise in the next like year and a half. They also talked about some predictions about GTA 6. So I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. Dragon's Dogma 2 has an expansion called the original Dragon's Dogma had another game, like a kind of a shorter sequel game called Dark Horizon. And now Dragon's Dogma 2 will have a Dark Horizon DLC as opposed to another game. So Dragon's Dogma 2 is another game that is on my short list. I've got it on my shelf. It's probably one of the next games I'm going to be playing, and I'm really excited. It was considered um, one of 2024's most underrated games was Dragon's Dogma 2. There's a lot of these games that are coming out. There are a lot of fantasy games that are coming out that are kind of being touted as the thing to keep us warm until the next Elder Scrolls comes out. And that's very much the case, from what I understand. Dragon's Dogma, along with Claire Obscure and a couple other things. Also, after 14 years, Guild Wars 3 is finally coming as a modern evolution of the MMO. Guild Wars 2 has been, I've played both. I played Guild Wars and then Guild Wars 2. They were both unique MMOs because they didn't have a monthly subscription. You bought the game for like 50 or 60 bucks, which was a little pricey at the time, and then it was free to play, after that. I think what they would do though is then they also added in microtransactions for certain things. If you wanted weaponry or armor or different cosmetic stuff, you would have you could have microtransactions and stuff like that. Stuff like that. But to have a Guild Wars 3, I also liked the idea that, like, as a fantasy setting, they had some very interesting, like, kind of unique parts of their fantasy sightings. Like the elves were essentially plant people.
yeah. I
And
enjoyed
yeah.
Guild Wars.
Yeah, the
I played
element that,
I played Guild Wars 2.
yeah, Guild Wars 2 was the last time I played it, and I thought it was for the game, for what it was pretty great. So yeah, there is an announcement trailer for Guild Wars 3. If you guys want to check that out, ArenaNet is the publisher, I believe, and it says more information will come later this year and in 27 before Guild Wars 3 enters its beta period. But for now, just knowing it's actually real is pretty great. Some news about the new House of the Dragon season 3. Apparently, the first episode is going to be about 71 minutes, and it's going to feature the Battle of the Gullet, which is considered in the world, in the setting of Game of Thrones and this whole setting, one of the most vicious, violent battles of all time within any wars. It's supposed to be pretty incredible. It says House of the Dragon season 2 left viewers on the brink of a huge battle before delaying the action until season 3. Showrunner Ryan Condal has been candid in the past about the challenges leading to this decision, but it's now opened up about why he thinks it will be a great way to start the show's upcoming third season. So yeah, so it's been a while since I watched that show, so it's been kind of hard to remember exactly how it ended, but apparently it ended right before a big fight.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna see.
I'm
Apparently,
looking
we're gonna
forward to
see
it.
that fight.
I'm actually, this one I'm enjoying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. House of the Dragon was fantastic. House of the Dragon season 3 begins on HBO Max on June 21st in the U.S. and June 22nd on HBO Max, Sky, and now in the UK. So that's right around the corner.
Yep, 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. So that was about it. That was pretty
Yep.
much all I had.
We should wrap things up.
We should. It's 10 o'clock. Guys, thanks for joining us tonight. I was sorry about some of the technical
Yeah,
difficulties.
we had some ups and downs with it wasn't as bad as last week, but it was.
Yeah.
But try
still,
rebooting. I didn't reboot since last week.
Yeah. So, but thanks again. We don't have D&D this Friday. I will actually be at an event at the Tangent Gallery called Glizzy Fest. I kid you not. It looks like I guess it's an EDM event that is also has a lot of hot dog kind of stuff going on too. So, I'm going to be body painting at it, I guess. I'm finally getting a little downtime on the weekends here, so I'm like looking forward to that. But be sure to join us next week, as always, at 8 o'clock here on the Drinking Nerds channel. And then next Friday we will be back at the table, playing D&D, doing a mission for Octavian. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, you guys finished with knocking on the door of a dwarven mine.
Dwarven mine, yep. Hello.
Hello. Remember, you can follow us on most social medias. We are on Facebook, Nerds with Alcohol Show, everywhere else, Drinking Nerds. And then remember, coming soon, there will be Drinking Nerds Entertainment. There will be a Drinking Nerds Entertainment website, and you'll be able to buy like Nerds with Alcohol koozies and mugs and things like that, along with Tavern Nights stuff. And you can I'm even gonna be doing personalized stuff on there, so you can actually do personalized stuff. I would show you the other ones. So this one didn't come out so great. It's really hard to read. It's basically it's one of those. I got to work on the size of the fonts and stuff. It says, "Lord, grant me patience, because if you grant me strength, I'm gonna need bail money." And then this is the one that didn't come out right because it messed up and removed a lot of the white, but it's the Drinking Nerds Entertainment logo. So, but yeah, playing around with those. I'm working on some other stuff. I'm hoping I will have a good catalog of stuff that either I have purchased with a commercial license, or just to save time, or have created myself. So I was working on one today for curling. It was I Swept with Your Wife, because that's one of the things I've seen. I've been working on another curling one that's I'd hit that, or I'd tap that, and it shows a curling stone. Curling jokes. I'm working on golf stuff, doing like the tap it in and things like that. I've got one that I created that's the Homer Simpson quote: "To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems." So yeah, working on stuff for just for fun stuff like that, like koozies and stuff. So
alrighty.
But yeah, so keep your eye out for that. I'll let everybody know once the website's up. Yeah, I love that quote too, CD. It's one of my favorites. That's actually why I wanted to use it. And alcohol, remember, alcohol is a solution.
It is a solution. It's absolutely true.
But yeah, so I think that's gonna about do it.
That should do it.
So until next time. Slainte.
Slainte.
All right, have a good week, everybody.
Good night.